Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. How are y'all doing today? Cheers. It has been 3 months since I have uploaded. At least anything of substance, anything that I feel proud of. And I've been taking this time to really bunker down and hibernate through the winter and just do some shadow work and to really heal. And I'll get more into that and what that shadow work looked like and what that healing really looked like for me. Definitely isn't finished. The work is never done. But I do feel that I have accomplished a lot when it comes to being brave and facing that shadow and working through it. I think I've accomplished a lot. I've missed you guys so much. Thank you for your patience, those of you who stuck around. And those new subscribers, thank you so much. I'm excited to start uploading again and to get to know all of you new subscribers. The reason that I really decided to take a break and do some shadow work and some healing, and like I said, I'll get more into kind of what that means to me later in this video, was because I have really been struggling with my depression and anxiety for the past, probably 6 months to a year, honestly. But really for the past 4 months, I would say, 3 or 4 months. And I feel like I'm finally getting out of this major depressive funk that I've been in. And my anxiety is finally starting to calm down. I have struggled with depression and anxiety my entire life. I will say it's gotten easier in my adult years, and especially since I've become a witch. I just feel like I can manage it easier, but that doesn't mean it goes away completely. It just doesn't. It does not go away. So sometimes I still go through these depressive episodes and these depressive funks. And it can get really bad. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. It can get really bad. Like, I sometimes struggle with showering. I sometimes struggle with keeping up with my laundry. And maybe that sounds disgusting to some people, but that's just the reality of it. And that's what my depressive episodes look like. Sorry, my dog's getting a drink if you can hear it. And you may be wondering, why am I filming out here? If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I usually film in front of my altar in my witchy room. Well, I'll be honest with you guys again, that room is a total disaster right now. It's a total mess. That's one of the things I kind of let go while I was struggling with my depression recently. So I really need to get that cleaned up first. So for now, you're getting my lovely living room. We got some indoor plants, so there's some plant lights if you're wondering what those purple lights are. If you're someone who struggles with depression and anxiety, you know that it's not always situational related. Your depression and anxiety can come out of nowhere. You can feel depressed and anxious even if nothing's happening, even if nothing changes. Mine was a little bit of both. I feel like there were a lot of things that were happening in my life for the past year, but at the same time, there's also been a lot of good things happening, and a lot of things have gone back to normal, and I still was struggling with my depression and anxiety there for a while. Some hard things I dealt with this year, you know, if you've been following me for a while, you already know some of the hard things. I don't really want to get into too many of them, but one of the things I've really been struggling with is my cat's health, actually. My cat started having seizures this year. Out of nowhere. He just started having seizures. Really scary, really rare. If you're an animal person, if you have ever worked with animals or anything like that, you know that seizures in cats is actually very rare. It's way more common with dogs. But of course we got the cat who gets seizures. So earlier this year, he had swallowed, this is gonna sound crazy, but he swallowed a bunch of ponytail holders. We had no idea. He was literally sneaking and hiding and eating ponytail holders. And he had to have emergency surgery to get all of those removed. We thought that he had started having seizures because maybe of that. But then after his emergency surgery and after he recovered, he continued to have seizures. He's only had 3 in the past year. So it's not, you know, it's not a ton, but it's enough to be alarming. Trying to get that under control. I've experienced a lot of loss this past year, a lot of family loss, family, friends, lots of loss. And, you know, I'm not telling you these things to get people to feel sorry for me or anything like that. I just want to let you know why I needed this long 3-month break. I just really needed time to work through these things and to heal, okay? I think all of these things kind of triggered a depression for me and spiked my anxiety. So through my shadow work, I learned many things through my shadow work. But in a nutshell, the main theme that I learned through my shadow work was forgive yourself. I know that sounds weird, but you have different epiphanies through shadow work anyway. And that was earlier this year. And what I really realized was I don't know how to. I don't know how to. I don't know how to forgive myself. I don't know what that entails. You know, for so long, I would just say, okay, well, just forgive yourself. And it didn't work. You know, I would still beat myself up, or I still would struggle with letting things go, or I'd still feel shame and guilt for things, or worry if I did the right thing, and I just didn't know how to forgive myself. And I realized that I didn't know how to forgive myself. That's huge. That's huge. So I went on this long journey of learning how to forgive myself. And what I learned from that, again, many things, but in a nutshell, what I learned from that was that you can grow without holding on to shame. And what I mean by that is you can learn from your mistakes and not beat yourself up and feel guilty about those mistakes. You don't have to hold on to shame to become a better person, to learn from things, to grow. You don't. You know, and I almost feel like a hypocrite because I tell people all the time that guilt and shame is unproductive. And to an extent, it's exists in nature. I feel like it's an emotion that we naturally have as humans to not repeat mistakes. But when you hold on to it, it's unproductive. I really learned that you don't have to feel guilt or shame for anything to learn from past mistakes or past shitty choices that you've made. So that was really what I've done in my shadow work. Now the healing part, for me, this is what it kind of looks like with shadow work and healing. Shadow work is really the work to me. That is working through these feelings you might have and don't know why, working through these shadow dark parts of you, facing them, and really admitting to yourself the truth about things. It's hard. It can be really hard. Does it mean it's like a terrible time all the time? No, not necessarily, but it's not, for me, shadow work is not necessarily easy. That's where the work comes in. And I kind of look at it metaphorically. I look at shadow work as being in literally darkness and learning how to see in the darkness and see these things that you used to tuck away into the shadows, right? Learn how to work in the shadow, hence shadow work. And then as you work through the darkness and as you learn to see things in the darkness, you step out of the darkness and into the light. And in the light is where I heal. I think very metaphorically, that's how I am as a person. It helps me understand things and it helps me understand the world. So it's almost like being in a cave and walking through a cave and finally finding the exit and being out in the light. I almost feel like a neglected plant and then being able to kind of come back to life by being put out in the sunshine. These things might seem really cliche or really obvious to some people, but it helps me understand myself. It helps me understand my shadow work, and the not knowing how to forgive myself was just something I just never really understood how to do. It's so funny because I thought it was just as easy as just forgiving yourself. But for me, it wasn't. It's not. You can't just... I feel like we're our biggest critics, and it's easier to forgive someone else than it is yourself. For me, anyway. It's way harder to forgive myself than other people. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I have gone on a long journey. It's, like I said, it's not done. The work is never done. And I'll get back into some more shadow work soon. Right now I'm healing in the sunshine. I'm healing in the light. And it feels wonderful. Taking a break from shadow work. But the bit of shadow work I just did, I think I have accomplished a lot. I've accomplished a lot. And I'm really proud of myself for that. So, moving on from the kind of dark things that I've been going through for the past few months to a year or whatever, there are some really good things happening in my life right now. There are some really good things, and I am so grateful, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy. One of the good things that is happening is my husband and I are planning on moving soon, and we are so excited. We are currently renting, and we are planning on becoming first-time home owners. And we're like, at least I feel a little overwhelmed, and it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this, but we're doing it. And we're planning on actually building a new home, which is crazy. It's so crazy. I never ever thought that he and I would ever have the opportunity to be able to do this. We are so grateful. We are so lucky. It's wild, and I can't believe we're gonna have a brand new home before the end of the year. Hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully. So that's what we're planning on doing. We are planning on moving. You know, if that falls through, we are planning on, at least we're definitely going to move. So that's a good thing. We're very excited for that. So lucky, so grateful. It's also springtime soon. I love the springtime. I'm not a big summer fan. I love winter, spring, and the springtime is my absolute favorite time of the year. Oh, I just love when the flowers start blooming and the birds come back and the grass is green and the breeze is cool, but it's light, and oh, I just love it so much. I am starting to feel a lot better too. My depressive state is definitely coming to an end. It happens for me in episodes, right? You know, I can actually like shower again and keep up on laundry, so that's a good thing. So yeah, I've been feeling much better. Some people might think it's a seasonal thing, but it's can really happen to me any time of year. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like the darkness in winter. I don't mind the winter. I don't mind the cold. I love the snow. I love the snow. The only thing that can really get to me is like the darkness, how like, and not just like the cloudiness. I don't mean that. I mean like how short the daylight is, and how early the sun sets here in Indiana. It sets at like 4, 5 in the afternoon in the winter time, in the dead of winter. And the sunlight's staying out longer now, and that does help. That part of the season, that does help a lot. Another good thing that's happening is Flappy does seem to be getting a little bit better. My cat, Flapjack, who's been struggling with seizures, we call him Flappy. We have been talking with his vet, and we could not quite figure out why he was having these seizures. And we've been kind of doing the like cancel out method, like, okay, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, by doing tests and different things like that. And I've been doing some research and found something called FHS. I forget exactly what it stands for. I will put it up here on the screen, aka twitchy cat disease. It's a neurological issue where his back nerves will sometimes are really sensitive, and sometimes they'll twitch, and sometimes he'll have, I call them his twitchy attacks, where he'll like bite his paws and he'll run around the house like something is chasing him. No, that sounds crazy, but I looked it up, and it's actually a syndrome. It's a disease that some cats get. It's a neurological, like nervous system type of condition, and it can cause seizures. So I told my vet this, and she had never even heard of it. And she was like, we'll look into that. And she said that I really think you're onto something. So one of the easy things that can help some cats who have this condition, one of the easy things that you can do is just by adding amino acid or fatty, I always want to call it amino acid, it's not amino acid, is by adding omega fatty acid, like little oil, the oil droplets. And that can help, and it seems to be helping him. I don't know if you guys even care about this. I'm just rambling. But anyway, I don't know if you guys care about this. I'm sorry. I care so much about my cat. I consider him my one true familiar, and he just means a lot to me. And yeah. So anyway, he seems to be getting a little bit better. We'll see how that goes. So even though I haven't been active uploading here on YouTube, I have been watching, and I have noticed some really cool things going on in our little witchy community here on YouTube. I've been noticing, I've noticed this really cool like tag going on right now, which is the Witch's Black Lens, I think it's called, by Jasmyne Ambrosia, and the 7 Deadly Sins. And I'm not sure exactly what it's all about, or like, I think people are, it's like their take on one of the 7 deadly sins, and not being ashamed of it and learning from it and working on themselves, instead of trying to sacrifice something like a Christian would do through Lent. Which I think is fucking awesome. I think it's so cool. I love that these tags that she's been doing. I know she did a 28-day witchy challenge, which I think is really cool too. I just haven't been active enough to participate, so but I do think it's really cool. And there's just so many other people here on the witchy community that I would love to get to know a little bit more as well. I love your guys' content. I wish I could name all of your names. But I watch so many of you that it would take 20 hours. So also the shadow work that I did do this year, I did a lot of that shadow work with my Obsidian Oracle deck. And I did say that I could do a walkthrough for that deck. If you guys are still interested in that, let me know. I'm still obsessed with that deck. I would love to give you guys a walkthrough. I can do that. I just kind of wanted to upload this first because I've been gone for so long that I just kind of wanted to update you guys on everything that's going on. By the way, that deck was really inspired by the Witch of Bees and Bones. She introduced that deck on her YouTube channel. I can link her channel down below, but I will do a walkthrough of that deck and also link her on that video as well. Okay, my camera was overheating and I got hot, so I had to take off my shawl. Also, a couple more things too. A couple of little please help me out with these things. My husband Quack has made this new app. It's an AI tarot reading, or yeah, tarot reading app. So it's AI generated. He's like the super tech guy, but he wanted to do something with tarot. So I thought that was really cool, and it is a really cool website. He's worked so hard on it. I think what he wants to do is gather as many tarot readers, other witches in the community, to kind of have like a Zoom meeting with you guys. I know this is kind of like random and weird, but he wants your guys' input on it. So he doesn't read tarot at all, and he does get a lot of input from me as a tarot reader and witch, but he wants all kinds of input from all kinds of people in the community. So he was hoping that maybe he could set up some sort of like demonstration of how to do it. We can make a Zoom link, and whoever wants to join in can, and they can see how you do this app that he made, and you guys can give any feedback or any inputs on what he should add or what he should change or anything like that. That would be much appreciated. If you'd be interested in that, please let me know down below. He would love as many volunteers as possible. Literally, the only thing you would have to do is join the Zoom meeting. I would be in there too, and he would just demonstrate how to use the app, and anyone who has any feedback or anything like that can just chime in and let him know. It'd be really chill and easy. All right, guys, so I know this video wasn't super witchy. I know that it was kind of rambly and random. Thank you for your patience. Forgive me. I'm kind of rusty. I'm feeling a little rusty. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. Anything that you would like to see from me, let me know down below. Otherwise, I'll probably do the obsidian deck walkthrough next. And that's about it, guys. It's really good to be back. It's really good to see you guys. Until next time, I hope you stay very well. Thank you. Love you. Bye.